Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play OpenRCT Tycoon 2. Last episode, we don't talk about it. Rainbow Valley was a scenario. That's all I'm gonna say. Today, we have reached the final expert park in Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, that being Thunder Rock. Alright, which stands out in the middle of the desert, as you can quite clearly see by all the sand all over the place. And it's up to us to use all the available space to attract more people, or in this case, more tourists. For being the final expert park of Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, the guest goal isn't anything too exciting. It only requires us to get 900 guests in the park, which is, shall I say, very tame for a final park, but then again, this was Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. In terms of ride types, we have the chairlift, obviously. A few different types of gentle rides, 5 different types of roller coasters, just a twist for the thrill ride. No water rides, I guess that makes sense, we are in the desert after all. And of course, no information kiosk. Great. I do want to say technically 2 things before we get started. Alright, both of which relate to holidays. First of all for my Canadian viewers out there, I hope you all had a good Canada Day on Tuesday. And I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. And for my American viewers, as this video will be releasing on the 4th of July, I hope you all have a fantastic Independence Day. Just please don't fly off any fireworks in my direction, because A, that wouldn't really work firing fireworks at Phoenix, and 2, I don't do well with loud noises anyway, so it'll be a lose-lose situation. Anyways, with the holiday talk over, let us finally begin. As you see, the rock is pretty empty, and all we got is the chairlift going back and forth, back and forth, back and frickin' forth. And as you see, without the information kiosk at the start, we're kinda boned at the start, so we just gotta make do with what we got. Which admittedly is, well, not a lot. Okay, so despite the fact that we're in a desert, there are actually water rides in this scenario. That's weird. That is really weird. Who am I to complain? I just find it kind of odd because it's just so bizarre. Oh well, I guess I can't complain too much. Really? That's what I wanted to do. A little bit particular every game. Despite our soft guest gap being pretty mediocre, we are getting a decent amount of guests into the park right away, which is, well, good news. already 22% of the cap. We're only a little over 5 minutes in. And not bad. I also do want to point out that yes, 100 subscriber special is still in the works, but due to outrageous circumstances, that I have not been able to really do that quite yet. But don't worry, I will get 100 sub special up at some point during the month. Just like I said in the community tab, please bear with me. That's better. Really? We're in the middle of the desert. Why is it raining in the desert? I know deserts do get the occasional bit of rain here and there, but this is just weird. At least the information kiosk is gonna come in nice and early, which is always good. There, at least now one of the rides, despite being just a silly little twist, is actually colored in honor of the belated Canada Day. Even if it's something as basic as a twist. This might be the one of the dumber ideas I think I've ever had, but since I don't want guys getting lost, that's not even it. Well, getting an information kiosk up now that's research can help, but that's what I wanted to do, provide an alternative way for guests to go up and down the hill. Or I guess in this case, up and down the rock. But now the information kiosk is up, so now guests can get their silly little maps and umbrellas and stuff. Because heaven forbid. Yeah, that gives me an idea. That's better. Dizzy Mouse, but stylized in Canadian colors. That's much more like it. There we go. Now the Canadian viewers have something to look at. Yes, I know it seems kind of silly that I'm coloring rides in our holidays that have passed, and other stuff like that, but hey, you can't blame me for wanting to be thorough. $0.20 for a Ferris wheel. That is just sad. That is one of the lowest entry fees for a ride I think I've ever seen. At that point, you'd be better off just giving out free tickets. In fact, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Also, as you may have briefly noticed that OpenRCT2 has been updated quite a bit since last month, so there might be some things that are a little different, so yeah. Now my main question right now is, what exactly is this game gonna give me in terms of that? And there's something for the American viewers as well, appealing to both sides of North America. Like I said, I know this seems silly that I'm doing it like this, but I'm just making sure that my bases are covered. Excuse me, but how do we not have any staff? That doesn't make any sense. Well, I think that's just weird. All four trains just going one after the other, after the other, after the other, like short little 10-second spurts. That's just kind of crazy. Oh, that's not too bad. tourists are slowly trickling their way into the park. Although that's not really doing a whole lot of good for our financials right now. Hopefully I don't screw myself with this. I wasn't expecting this to work, but I'm very, very glad that it has. There we go. Big queue line, but you gotta make it work somehow. You have to deal with this build U-turn. And the guest cap is about a little over halfway there. There's that set up, and now quadruple the price. $40 is the minimum that we can get. Is that, well, not even the minimum, that's the minimum. Well, technically it is the minimum. It's the minimum guests can spawn with, but it's also the maximum of what we can get away with. So I guess I was kind of right, but also kind of wrong, because I said it wrong at first. And now some people are gonna be like, yeah, that's pretty typical. And today I say, oh, you're not wrong. But now that should get our finances more or less, excuse me, more or less in order. There you go. Now you can shuttle. Also, this was by a complete coincidence that I put both the American colored and Canadian colored roller coasters right next to one another. I did not do that on purpose. Some people can accuse me of doing that on purpose, but I can assure you that that was just purely coincidental. I was mainly seeing if there's any thrill rides that we can have or not, because you never know. I might get something good. Or maybe not. Who knows? Well, the game knows, and we don't know that quite yet. I feel like I need something else up here on this rock. If we can find something like that, yeah, that works. That works. I ain't gonna complain. You know what? Sports cars are fine. There, that way it does have a bit of easier connection, and now it actually works like a bit of a circle, I guess? I'm not entirely sure. Okay, fire ship, not bad. That's exactly what I was hoping for, but it's not bad. Go all the way around. I did not mean to press that button. Oh, this gives me an idea. There we go. So in case people are confused as to what I just did, basically colored each of the trains based on each of the 3 North American nations. And that being Canada, the United States, and Mexico. Again, this is one I can't defend because I just did that. I did that on purpose, and I did that to be silly. But I figured, might as well wrap everyone up in a little bow and just go with it. Sometimes it's better to not question the silly things that I do, because sometimes I just don't have an explanation. Okay, we're gonna need a couple more mechanics to keep up. In fact, I might as well just do 5, just be on the safe side. I like how basically no one's up on top of the rock itself. Everyone's just milling around down below. I did not mean to do this. I did not mean to set this up like this on purpose. I guess themselves decided, you know what? Nah. They just did it themselves. But I suppose I could provide a little bit of an incentive. Kind of. There we go. There we go, Mr. Pirate Ship. Now you can ship your way to Ship Town. That makes no sense. are you okay? That guy's just turned around as soon as I put the new path there, and I'm just like, are you okay? You good? Replace the fences. This guy reminds me of like American Colors. Just about everywhere that I can put them. That actually kind of works. Huh. Who would have thought? There you go, Bernard. Welcome to the new job. So, making sure that the flowers are flowerific. I don't think that's even a word. May not be the same as other Nightmare, but I just really do not have to deal with all that pathing. But the soft gas cap is pretty much right there. Who would want to buy fries in the desert? Your mouth is already dry enough as is in the desert. That's just insult to injury. I know some people are gonna call me insane for saying that, but it's true. Why would you do that? There we go. A few extra stalls up here, and we should be good on that front. I know I just complained about fries in the desert, but I'm gonna build them anyway, just to make sure that we don't get any negative food rewards. Like so. And our soft gas cap has reached over 900, so yeah, it's not gonna take long for the rest of the guests to show up. For this being the final expert park in Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, this is oddly anticlimactic, I guess? If you want to call it anticlimactic? I don't know. At least we're slowly becoming hilariously cast positive. Holy hell, that graph is all kinds of screwed. But ladies But ladies and gentlemen, as guests keep on rolling, and we are approaching the very end of all the parts of Roller Coaster Tycoon 1. Although the guests are leaving, it could be possible that this gets milked without me even having to do anything. I find there's something so funny to me about the scenario being completed when the final day before the congratulations screen popped up was July 4th. If that's not a hell of a coincidence, I don't know what is, ladies and gentlemen. I sincerely do not. That is the mother of all coincidences. And I'm just gonna wait a little while until we get enough money to pay off our debt, which is right there. And that is it. And that, my friends, is Thunder Rock. For this being the final expert park arc of Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, and the final part of the game in general, this is kind of anticlimactic. Because it's not that bad. I mean, Rainbow Valley would have worked out a lot better as the finale of Roller Coaster Tycoon 1. Bullshit restrictions aside, of course, but that's past me still being kind of salty about that. But in any case, that does conclude every single park on Roller Coaster Tycoon 1. There is technically a bonus map if you complete all the scenarios, but that is a have fun map, and so it doesn't have any sort of objective to it, so we will be excluding it. But we still have a couple more scenarios to do in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, and then we have a few Six Flags maps left to play, so the end of the season is upon us, and it's coming up fast. But with my rambling aside, thank you all for watching, and like the video if you enjoyed it, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and comment down below if you have something on your mind about this particular episode. Anyways, happy belated Canada Day, happy 4th of July. Hey, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Ciao.